This is LightCast Entertainment. We bring you details of news in politics, entertainment, everything buzzing in the Nigerian entertainment industry, and many more. Do wait to subscribe to get updates with happenings in Nigerian entertainment scene as well as politics. Many thanks. Hello and welcome to What's Trending on LightCast Entertainment. We look at trending stories about Nigerian news and politics. So it's 6 months to the general election, and while the opposition party are planning for election, the ruling party is saying they are planning for coalition. I was just checking out for news that made headlines, and I saw interview of the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, saying that the 2027 election is going to be a coronation of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So what is the opposition party doing? I think they're just playing, because with that statement, it's obvious that there is no chances for the opposition party, because during the interview, he's dismissed the chances of Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, another presidential candidate of the smaller party, contesting against President Bola Tinubu. So I'll read word for word what the minister said during the interview. He said, "I want to make a profound statement, not out of arrogance, not out of overconfidence, but out of pure demographic calculation. The 2027 election is a coronation, not an election." This is from Festus Keyamo. So what are we doing? What is the opposition actually doing? Are they actually playing, or they are just doing rehearsal and just waiting for the INEC, that is the Independent National Electoral Commission, to announce or coronate President Bola Tinubu just to continue to 2031? So let's get your feedback on the recent interview of Festus Keyamo. Also during the interview, Festus Keyamo clashed with Seun Okinbaloye when Seun made reference to the altercation between the NDC presidential candidate Peter Obi and what happened at the airport in Abuja. You know, of course, the thing was a very controversial issue when they asked Peter Obi to pay a fine of 25,000 naira for airport violation of parking space. So instead of responding to Seun about the whole issue, Festus Keyamo insisted that the media is playing bias. The media is actually biased and not being fair to the ruling party. That Peter Obi was in an interview with Seun, and Seun did not ask question about the controversy. How is it possible now that he's on the interview with Seun and Seun is asking the same question about the airport controversy? Now, away from that, look at the news of President Bola Tinubu. President Bola Tinubu recently met with traditional monarch from Oyo State, who came to say thank you for the recent release, or rescue rather, of the pupils and teachers that were abducted at Orile local government of Oyo State. And Tinubu said that why they did not pay ransom to the abductors was because they actually knew where those children were. They had prior information about where the abductors kept the children, and they knew the forest very well. That is why they didn't bother to go into paying the abductors any money. Also, President Bola Tinubu government and the Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has continued to trade blames regarding the abduction and the release of those people, because Seyi Makinde is insisting that the federal government said he knew about the abduction. It's only a few hours after he announced his presidential race that the children were abducted, including the teachers. And while such thing happened at the time, he was planning for his political ambition. So now, away from that story, there's currently crack and crisis within the OK movement. That is the subgroup of the NDC, who are the supporters of the Peter Obi and Rabiu Kwankwaso ahead of the 2027 election. They are saying because of leadership tussle, there are reports that Peter Obi is unhappy with the situation about leadership crisis within the party. I think it's high time the party puts whatever they want to do together, because even the ruling party doesn't want to give the opposition party chances to just come and take over the presidency. It takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of putting in effort to make sure they are in power if actually they really want to wrestle with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But let's see how this turns out, because it's barely 6 months to the general election. Now to entertainment. Former BB Naija winner Fina has dragged Kata Efe to court. He sued him for 500 million naira for defamation over accusation and allegation that they have both slept, and he said this during a live stream. And she insisted that she's not going to keep silent about public allegations, but had to clear her name. So let's see how this turned out between Fina and Kata Efe. So that's how much we can take today on today's episode. Many thanks for watching. Bye for now.